Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. We offer our salutations to Ramana, who shines as the self in all beings, and begin today's satsang with a prayer by Srimati Sapna Ganesh that will be followed by the chanting of Muktaka trayam by Kumari Revathi Shankar.
दक्षिणामूर्तिसारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् रमणार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये आङ्गिकं भुवनं यस्य वाचिकं सर्ववाङ्मयम् आहार्यं चन्द्रतारादि तं नमः सात्विकं शिवम् ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय नमो रमणा टू एवरीवन.
ओम नमो भगवते श्री रमणाय. एकमक्षरम् हृदि निरन्तरम् भासते स्वयं लिख्यते कथम् हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् अहमिति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वता मज्जतावा पवनचलनरोधात् आत्मनिष्ठो भवत्वम् देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मना सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं. नमो रमण.
Namo Ramana. We have the chanting of a few verses from Upadesa Saram by Kumari Uma Sripathy.
Namo Ramana. कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम् कर्म किं परम् कर्म तज्जडम् कृतिमहोदगौ पतनकारणम् फलमशाश्वतम् गतिनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितम् नेच्छया कृतम् चित्तशोधकम् मुक्तिसाधकम् कायवाग्मना कार्यमुत्तमम् पूजनं जपश्चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगतैषधी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिदेवपूजनम् उत्तमस्तवाद् उच्चमन्दत चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम् आज्यधारया स्रोतसा समम् सरलचिन्तनम् विरलतः परम् वेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनाभिदा पावनीमता भावशून्य सद्भावसुस्थिति भावना बलात् भक्तिरुत्तमा हृत्स्थले मना स्वस्थता क्रिया भक्तियोगबोधाश्च निश्चितम्. नमो रमण.
In this part of the satsang, we have a few Ramananjali Sangeetam offerings, and today the offering will be done by Dr. Pratibha Sundaresh, followed by an offering by Kumari Revathi Shankar.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. This is Muruganar Swami's composition. தற்பர ரமண தயா பர போற்றி போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள தற்பர ரமண தயா பர போற்றி போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள தான் தானாகி சராச்சர நடைக்கு சான்றா விளங்கும் சதுரா போற்றி தான் நடைக்கு சான்றா விளங்கும் சதுரா போற்றி தற்பர ரமண தயா பர போற்றி போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள எழுகடல் சூழ்ந்து இப்புவி தன்னில் மழையாய் பெய்து மண்ணுயிர் தமக்கு எழுகடல் சூழ்ந்து இப்புவி தன்னில் மழையாய் பெய்து மண்ணுயிர் தமக்கு பிழையா விளையுள் பெருகவாக்கி வழி வழி வாழ்விக்கும் வள்ளால் போற்றி பிழையா விளையுள் பெருகவாக்கி வழி வழி வாழ்விக்கும் வள்ளால் போற்றி தற்பர ரமண தயா பர போற்றி போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள காயும் பருக நீருமாய் பவித்தாய் போற்றி அறியு உண்டியும் அடையும் காயும் பருக நீருமாய் பவித்தாய் போற்றி ஒன்று முதலாறு உணர்வுடைத்தாயர் ஒன்றுயிர் யாவுமாய் துதந்தாய் போற்றி ஒன்று முதலாறு உணர்வுடைத்தாயர் ஒன்றுயிர் யாவுமாய் துதந்தாய் போற்றி தற்பர ரமண தயா பர போற்றி போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள மண் முதலைந்து மதி கதிரியமா எண் முதல் உருவாயந்தாய் போற்றி மண் முதலைந்து மதி கதிரியமான் மண் முதல் உருவாய் இயந்தாய் போற்றி முற்படு விஷம்பு முதற் பலவற்றை பற்பல குணமாய் பரந்தாய் போற்றி முற்படு விஷம்பு முதற் பலவற்றை பற்பல குணமாய் பரந்தாய் போற்றி தற்பர ரமண தயா பர போற்றி போற்றி வல்லாள் போற்றி கண்ணாள குணம் குறியாவுமாய் குலவியுமந்த குணம் குறியந்த நிர்குணனே போற்றி. குணம் குறியாவுமாய் குலவியுமந்த குணம் குறியந்த நிர்குணனே போற்றி. அயம் முதலைவர் ஐந்தொழிற்படுக்கும் வியன் முதலாய விழுப்பொருள் போற்றி. அயன் முதலைவர் ஐந்தொழிற்படுக்கும் வியன் முதலாய விழுப்பொருள் போற்றி. தற்பர ரமண தயாபர போற்றி. போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள தற்பர ரமண தயா பர போற்றி. போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள் தான் தானாகி சராச்சர நடை சான்றா விளங்கும் சதுரா போற்றி. தான் தானாகி சராச்சர நடைக்கு தான்றா விளங்கும் சதுரா போற்றி. தற்பர ரமண தயாபர போற்றி. போற்றி வல்லாள போற்றி கண்ணாள் தற்பர ரமண தயாபர போற்றி. போற்றி வல்லாள் போற்றி கண்ணாள போற்றி வல்லாள் போற்றி கண்ணாள போற்றி வல்லாள் போற்றி கண்ணாள. நமோ ரமணா.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Bhagavan has given us wonderful path of self-enquiry to attain the highest, to attain ultimate truth of life. Bhagavan says, for people who says, where can I do this? It is impossible for me to do. Muruganar Swami said, it is ayye metta katinam. Taking from that song, Muruganar Swami started writing ayye ati sulabham. But then he couldn't continue and gave it to Bhagavan to complete it. Bhagavan continued and completed the song saying, ayye ati sulabham, atma jnanam ayye ati sulabham. When people with lot of Shraddha do self-enquiry, follow the path what Bhagavan has given us, then that is the easiest path and they attain it. One thing we have to do is to hold on to that path until we get to that ultimate state. Bhagavan says, it is like the nellikai which is there in the hand. It is easier than that for us to recognize the gooseberry in the hand. There should be a gooseberry, there should be a hand, there should be a sense of feeling that there is a gooseberry. There should be the knowledge that I have a gooseberry in my hand. There are so many steps that we need to follow just to see a gooseberry. But then Bhagavan says, this self-knowledge is easier than that. It is just here and now. We can transcend this body, mind, and attain that in a second. From this Atma, from this self, everything rises, says Bhagavan. But then we don't see that. We feel that this self is lying within the body. But actually, the body is within the self. The whole world is within the self. Everything is within the self. The self alone is. But because we think that we are the body, we are the mind, we are stuck and we are caught in this Maya, world of Maya. And when we realize, when we recognize that self alone is, then what happens? This screen of Maya tears open and the light of the self pervades everywhere. From the within, from the heart, Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram, from there rises the self and it pervades everywhere. making us realize there is no everywhere, there is no in, out, there is nothing else except the self. Akka Sharada has written, Yar Evaridam Yenna Solvadu, Ramanan Oruvane Irukkaiyil. Ramana alone is, the self alone is. Who can say anything about the self? Because it will be like it is speaking about itself. The self is speaking about itself just at this moment also. But what do? We say, I am this body. We hold on to the wrong notion that I am the body. Because of that, so many crores of thoughts rise. Because I am Revathi, if somebody says something to Revathi, Revathi gets upset. If somebody says about Revathi, something good about Revathi, then Revathi gets happy. If Revathi is hungry, then she will want to have food. If Revathi is thirsty, she will want to have water. So because I identify myself with this body called Revathi, I give it a name called Revathi, there are so many lakhs and crores of thoughts, thousands of thoughts coming again and again and again. How do we get over this? How do we just take a break from this? Bhagavan says, question, for whom is this? It is, who is the actual I? This body is being the thief by taking away our true happiness. But when we question, this thief runs away. The Pishachi in us is gone, and the light of the self again is always there, just that veil which is hiding it is torn apart, and the self alone is. I present to you a song by Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, a Kannada translation of Ayyeti Sulabham. The translation is by Dr. N.S. Lakshminarayana Bhatta, music by C. Ashwath and Sri H.K. Narayana. ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಯನಿತೋ ಸುಲಭಯೇನು ಸರಳಮೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಯನಿತೋ ಸುಲಭಯೇನು ಸರಳವೋ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ತಿಳಿಯ ಬರುವ ಜನರೇ ವಿರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಯನಿತೋ ಸುಲಭಯೇನು ಸರಳವೋ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ತಿಳಿಯ ಬರುವ ಜನರೇ ವಿರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮವು ಅತಿ ದುರ್ಬಲನಿಗೂ ಸತ್ಯವಾದುದೋ ನೋಡೆ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿಯ ನೆಲ್ಲಿಕಾಯೆ ಮಿಥ್ಯವಾದುದೋ ಆತ್ಮವು ಅತಿ ದುರ್ಬಲನಿಗೂ ಸತ್ಯವಾದುದೋ ನೋಡೆ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿಯ ನೆಲ್ಲಿಕಾಯೆ ಮಿಥ್ಯವಾದುದೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮ ಒಂದೇ ಶಕ್ತ ಅದೇ ಸತ್ಯ ನೂತನ ಈ ದೇಹ ಲೋಕದರಿಂದಲೇ ಬಂದ ವಿಭ್ರಮ ಆತ್ಮ ಒಂದೇ ಶಕ್ತ ಅದೇ ಸತ್ಯ ನೂತನ ಈ ದೇಹ ಲೋಕದರಿಂದಲೇ ಬಂದ ವಿಭ್ರಮ ಭ್ರಮೆಯ ತೆರೆಯು ಕಳಚಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರಗಿದ ಘಳಿಗೆ ಭ್ರಮೆಯ ತೆರೆಯು ಕಳಚಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರಗಿದ ಘಳಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬೆಳಗುವನೋ ಹೃದಯದ ಒಳಗೆ ಆತ್ಮ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬೆಳಗುವನೋ ಹೃದಯದ ಒಳಗೆ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ತಿಳಿಯ ಬರುವ ಜನರೇ ವಿರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ ನಾನೇ ದೇಹ ಎನ್ನುವ ತಪ್ಪು ಸೂತ್ರವ ಹಿಡಿದು ಎನಿತೋ ಭಾವ ಜನಿಸಿಹವೋ ಅವುಗಳ ತಡೆದು ನಾನೇ ದೇಹ ಎನ್ನುವ ತಪ್ಪು ಸೂತ್ರವ ಹಿಡಿದು ಎನಿತೋ ಭಾವ ಜನಿಸಿಹವೋ ಅವುಗಳ ತಡೆದು ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಎನ್ನುವ ಶೋಧನೆ ನಾನು ಎನ್ನುವ ಶೋಧನೆ ನಡೆಯ ಸದಾ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರುವ ಆತ್ಮ ಸೂರ್ಯನೇ ನಡೆಯ ಸದಾ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರುವ ಆತ್ಮ ಸೂರ್ಯನೇ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ತಿಳಿಯ ಬರುವ ಜನರೇ ವಿರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಎನಿತು ಸುಲಭ ಏನು ಸರಳವೋ. ನಮೋ ರಮಣ.
Namo Ramana. After the Ramananjali Sangeetam offering, we will have a session of self-enquiry practice. Before we practice the self-enquiry, we will read a few words from Bhagavan and how he is guiding us in this path of self-enquiry. I am reading from the book A Practical Guide to Know Yourself, Conversations with Sri Ramana Maharshi, a compilation of question and answers done by our founder president Sri R. Natarajanji. I remember Bhagavan to give us the right instruction for today's satsang. A decent lady who appeared to be resourceful person came to the hall and prostrated. This is from the chapter Hand Over Your Burden to Sadguru. A decent lady who appeared to be a resourceful person came to the hall and prostrated. The devotee, she said in low voice, but still audible, I am blessed with a comfortable life by God. I am having all that a human being desires to possess. She is telling, I am blessed with a comfortable life by God. I am having all that a human being desires to possess. Bhagavan, then you are happy. What more is required? Bhagavan is telling, then you are happy. What more is required? The devotee said, no, no. I distinctly feel that something is missing. I do not enjoy complete mental peace. The lady says, no, no. I distinctly feel that something is missing and I do not enjoy complete mental peace. Bhagavan said, oh, say so. Your life's aim is not complete and so there is no peace. Bhagavan is saying, oh, say so. Your life's aim is not complete and so there is no peace. Devotee says, with all my material comforts, I am not happy. My mind is worried always and it is agitated. Perhaps this is due to my destiny. She's telling, with all my material comforts, I'm not happy. My mind is worried always and it is agitated. Perhaps this is due to my destiny. Bhagavan says, yes, yes, you have frankly told everything. What is destiny? If you surrender to the higher power, how can destiny affect you? Surrender is the answer. It will set everything right. Bhagavan is telling, yes, yes, you have frankly told everything. What is destiny? If you surrender to the higher power, how can destiny affect you? Surrender is the answer. It will set everything right. Devotee says, that is my problem. I am unable to surrender. My ego comes in the way. The devotee is telling, that is my problem. I am unable to surrender. My ego comes in the way. Bhagavan said, maybe, but persist in your attempt. Maybe, but persist in your attempt. Have one pointed concentration. Submit yourself to God. Say, I am at your disposal. I am helpless. I surrender to you. I seek your help. It will bring peace. Ramana is telling, have one pointed concentration. Submit yourself to God. Say, I am at your disposal. I am helpless. I surrender to you. I seek your help. It will bring peace. Devotee, I do understand, but I am unable to practice. Perhaps it is due to my destiny. Devotee is again telling, I do understand, but I am unable to practice. Perhaps it is due to my destiny. Bhagavan is telling, what can destiny do? It will not become operative if you make complete surrender. You will be free from worries. The mind becomes calm and peace will prevail. What can destiny do? It will not become it will not become operative if you make complete surrender. You will be free from worries. Mind becomes calm and peace will prevail. Bhagavan Shri Krishna in Gita says, Ananyash chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Those who have Ananya Bhakti, without thinking anything else, they only think about the God's power, the Supreme Self, which is shining within our heart. If that alone we meditate on without thinking of anything else, then all their yoga kshema, whatever they have to get, and all their kshema, that their well-being will be taken care by the Supreme. So when we truly have surrender, then we will not have any other thought. We'll only have the thought of the Supreme within our heart. But if a thought arises, Bhagavan tells us, see, what is the cause of this thought? Thought appears only because there is something which has happened before. It is that the thought is of the past experiences, or the thoughts is about something which you are expecting to happen in the future. So the thought is only about the past or the future. And if you find out, is there any desires right now? Is there any thought of this moment when you pay attention to this moment here and now? Then you cease to have any thoughts. Because at this moment, what do you want? This moment, you are full and complete. The sense of this lacuna, the sense of something which is missing, comes only because if you have missed something in the past, or you are expecting something to happen in the future. But Ramana tells us that the past is gone, so it is not at all real. And future is only imagination. It is also not real. What is truth? What is reality is here and now. So Ramana tells us to pay attention to what we are here and now. So if thought arises and it is taking us away from that, you need to surrender to the Supreme, saying that Supreme, you are taking care of everything. I'm helpless. I can't make anything happen in the world. I can't make even my own body work. I can't make my lungs breathe, my heart beat, or my digestive system digest the food. It is all happening according to some divine plan. That omnipotent, omniscient power is taking care of everything everywhere. ஆங்காங்கிருந்து அட்டி வைப்பான். Everything is moving according to the destiny. So if that is the case, then what should one do? One should just be still. And how to be still? Ramana gives us the path of self-enquiry. The self-enquiry and surrender are the two sides of the same coin. So to do self-enquiry, சிவபிரகாசம் பிள்ளை in his பாதமாலை says, பாரங்கள் எல்லாம் பரனிஷை போற்று பக்தியாய் அவன் திருப்பாதம் நேரங்கள் எல்லாம் நினைத்திரு உரைப்போன் பாதம் வாழ்கவே. All the bharam, all the burden one needs to put to the Supreme, because the Supreme who has created the world will take care of the world. We don't have to worry about it. What is the duty that the Supreme has given us? The only duty that he has given us is to turn within and to abide as the self. The destiny only can play if we are moving outwards. When we are moving outwards, we want to accomplish something in the outer world. Then the destiny may come and create a problem or an obstacle. But if you are turning within, away from all the happenings, you are turning towards that truth which is always there, untouched by the happenings around. If you are truth, then the destiny will not affect. So we need to turn within, away from the destiny, to that freedom that is there within each one of us. Let us sit for self-inquiry for the next 10 minutes. If when the thought arises, instead of pursuing the thought, surrender that thought to the Supreme and turn the attention towards the heart. For whom is this thought? It's for me. And ask the question, who am I? And hold on to that powerful Brahmastra which destroys all the other thoughts and would take us to our own true nature, which is complete and which is Purna, Paripurna. Until that, we need to continue our sadhana. Let us sit for self-enquiry for the next 10 minutes. Bhagavate Shri Ramana. We'll continue the satsang with the meditation on Bhagavan Ramana's Arunachala Ashtakam. We were meditating on the second verse. Satya Chit Sukhamandri Paravuyir Shareikiyam Satya Chit Sukhamandri Paravuyir Shareikiyam Artham Attattvamasi Aruna Porula Artham Attattvamasi Arunapurulaam Achalate Artham Ganamade Achalate Artham Ganamade Vagum Se Vadagavaroliya Muktini Naika Arul Arunachala Munnidave. Ramana is describing what is Arunachala. We are meditating on the Arunachala Navamani Malai, but in Arunachala Ashtakam, he says, even his infancy, even when he did not have any arivu, even from that point of time, he knew that Arunachala was something glorious and that Arunachala was shining in his heart. It was throbbing in his heart all the time. And later, a relative around this during the Kartika Deepam time on November 1st, 1895, he came to Ramana's uncle's house, Subbu Ayer's house in Madurai, and he knocked the door to find out if somebody was there in the house. And Venkatraman invited him and asked him, Uncle, where are you coming from? And the uncle just told, Arunachala. And the boy was thrilled. What? Arunachala? I thought Arunachala was something glorious outside of this world, beyond this world. Is that a place on earth that we can visit? And uncle said, don't you know Tiruvannamalai, a sacred place of Lord Shiva? That Tiruvannamalai is also called Arunachala. And the boy Venkatraman, although he got to know that this Arunachala was a place on earth, a sacred place on earth which can be attained, which can be, you can go and have the experience of Arunachala. He did not understand its full import. Only when this Arunachala, which is known to bestow mukti, liberation, to those who just merely think of it. And Ramana was born with the constant remembrance of Arunachala. Yasthanor Arunachalasya Padayoho Smritya Janim Prapyata. He was born with a constant remembrance of the feet of Arunachala. And that Arunachala which bestows liberation to those who just think of Arunachala, it drew Ramana into the heart. How did it draw him? It appeared, manifested as a intense fear of death. And Ramana says that the The experience of that death was so strong that he did not feel that he can escape it in any ways. Even if he went and asked help from his relatives or doctor, there was no escape from this fear. It was so strong and it had gripped him. And he decided, he became a dhira. There is no use of running away from the problem. The problem will gets solved only when we face it. We will be able to find a solution. So Ramana decided to face the problem. And what was the problem? It was the fear of death. And he faced it and questioned death. He said, what happens when the death comes? So he lay down on the ground as if he was dead. He did not even utter any sound, even the sound I. And he held his breath, and he could feel that his heart had stopped too, and the whole body had become stiff like a dead body, as if a rigor mortis had been set. And at that point of time, he understood that the body is dead. In some time, the relatives are going to come and take this body to the crematorium, and this body is going to be burned into ashes. And then, in a flash, he got a realization. Even when the body is dead, even when the body is taken to the cremation ground, even when it is burnt into ashes, there is some power which is shining as I. With the death of the body, that power is not subsiding, it is ever shining. And at that moment, he realized that what dies is only this body. But I am not the body. I am that power which includes the body, but also which is beyond it. And that power which I am is all pervading. And he had this experience, and he was completely free from all bondages. This is the promise of Arunachala. Mukti Nenaika Arun. Smaranat Arunachalam. When you think of Arunachala with great focus and concentration, without any thought, that Arunachala bestows us with his own state of freedom, with his own state of self knowledge, and with his own state of eternal bliss. And Arunachala blessed this state to Bhagavan. And yasthano Arunachalasya padayoho smritya jani prapyata दिव्यानुग्रह सुप्रवाह विवशस्तादात्म्य भावंगतः. That very same Aruna Divyanugraha Supravaha, and that pravaha, divya pravaha of anugraha, of arul, of grace, it drew him and brought him close to him, the physical presence of Arunachala too. And this Ramana, he was brought to Arunachala. He was given that state of Arunachala. He will tell in the next verses, he tells that the purpose of Arunachala revealing its truth was to glorify the greatness of Arunachala. And what is Arunachala? Arunachala me aham. Arunachala is the heart. Arunachala is the self. And we have forgotten the greatness of Arunachala. We have forgotten the greatness of our own self. And we are finding value in things in the world. We are moving outward and we are wanting to attain something in the world so that we find true happiness and freedom. But Ramana has come to remind us that the true happiness is within. and it is full of love. And because you love your true self, Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. You love everything around you. You love your people. You love your country. You love your things. You love your ideas. You love your thoughts. Only because you love yourself. And that Arunachala is full of compassion. And that Arunachala is full of light. And that Arunachala is all the Vedanta. It is the goal of all Vedanta. Ramana himself in Arunachala Aksharamanamalai says, Vedantatte Verara Vilangum. Veda Porul Arul Arunachala. You are the essence of the Vedas, and you are the one which is attained by great sadhakas who do lot of study, Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana of Veda and Vedanta. You are that Purul. You are that Tattva which is realized after we immerse ourselves into Vedanta. You are the essence of the Vedas. And you have come into our lives in such a sweet manner. And Ramana says, Mukti Ninaikaru. You don't have to read all the Vedanta. You don't have to understand all the scriptures, all the Puranas, all the uh, Upanishads. You just have to remember Arunachala, and that will bestow liberation. Let us read from the commentary by G. Kameshwarji on these verses. He says, Satya Chit Sukha means being awareness bliss, and Para Uir Sharndaikyam, that is individual God oneness. Artham At Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi is that you are. Maxim. And the term Aruna conveys these. Achala means solid, full, red gold, sunness. Arunachala, whose mere thought grants release, enquire and know. With regard to the terms Aruna and Achala, we are blessed to gain more insights from explanation conveyed by the great scholar, devotee of Bhagavan, Sri Vishwanatha Swami. Vishwanatha Swami says in the Conversations with Vishwanatha Swami, which was published in a newsletter, The Maharshi of Arunachal Ashram, USA, he says, Aruna. These three letters Bhagavan interprets as Sat Chit Ananda, not arbitrarily. A is the beginning of the alphabet, the very first sound. What is at the beginning is at the middle and in the end. That is everything. That is the origin. A, which is Sat. The Ru or Ra is Agni Bijam, the root sound of fire. Here it is the fire of consciousness, Chit. And Na in Sanskrit is Ananda. It attracts all human beings, Ananda Swarupa. So Bhagavan says Sat is Aruna. Achala means not moving. That which is finite, not that which is finite can move. There is no movement for the infinite. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Satchit Ananda. That is the meaning of Arunachala. The significance of this verse has also been beautifully brought out by Michael James in his article The Power of Arunachala. He writes, though Sri Bhagavan never gave mantra diksha nor formally accepted anyone as his disciple, many devotees believe that Arunachala is the Nama mantra that he has bestowed upon the whole world. When a guru formally gives a mantra to his disciple, he explains to him the meaning and significance of each letter of the mantra and tells him the fruit to be gained by meditating upon that mantra. In the same manner, in the second verse of Sri Arunachala Navamanimalai, Sri Bhagavan has explained the meaning of each syllable in the name Arunachala, and he has declared that mere thought of this name. For this, we can infer that Arunachala is the Jnana Panchakshari, the five-syllable mantra that bestows jnana, which Sri Bhagavan has revealed to the world. Moreover, tradition tells us that when a mantra is given by a jnani and when he explains the significance of each syllable of that mantra, he's actually putting his power into that mantra. Therefore, if any devotee of Sri Bhagavan like to have a mantra, they can very well take Arunachala to be the mantra openly given to them by him. So this is the glory of Arunachala. Is Sat, which is in the beginning, which is in the middle, and which is hot like fire. So the Ramanacharana Tirtha Swamiji used to say, whenever we say Rakar, we don't say Rakara in Sanskrit. We have Bharata. In the shloka we say Bhakaro Bhava Samyukto Refe Ragena Samshritah. We say Refe. The Rakara is referred as Refe in Sanskrit. And even in Tamil, we have the whenever they say if somebody's name starts with R, it is usually say Irada or Iramana, like that. A E is added before R because R is the Bija mantra for Agni. And here in the Aruna, the R refers to the Chit Shakti, the awareness which is ever shining, blazing like a fire. And Na is Ananda, which 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 is desired by everyone. Ramana says all the living beings are only desiring happiness, which is unalloyed and which is free from all the worries and anxieties and fear. And this Aruna is available to us. This Satchit Ananda, it is available to us in a gross form, in a full, which bestows liberation if you just remember it. And here Ji Kameshwarji says that this is the mantra which Ramana is giving us. And this is the Vedanta Sara. And if we can meditate truly on this mantra, Arunachala, then we are surely going to be bestowed with liberation. With that faith, let us remember Arunachala all the time. Let us remember Arunachala until the Arunachala does its work of taking us and establishing us in the heart, which is our own true nature and which is our own true home. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. We continue the satsang with sharing by Dr. Sharda. She is meditating on the verses from Vishwanatha Swami's Ramana Ashtottara Shatanamavali.
Namo Ramana. Prostrations to Ramana, shining as the self in all beings. By the immense grace of the self manifest as Ramana, we in this part of the satsang are meditating on the Ramana Ashtottara Shatanamavali of Vishwanatha Swami, and the Ramana Ashtottara Stotram is the basis of this Shatanamavali. The Stotram is a string of namas which forms a poem or which is having its proper rhyme and meter. And then from it is actually a string of namas. When Shantananda Puri Swami was requested by Sriyar Natarajan to compose an Ashtottram on Mother Aragamma, on Matru Bhuteshwara, he said, I can compose the Shatanamavali, Ashtottara Shatanamavali, but I do not know whether I can compose the Stotram. However, Vishwanatha Swami over here has composed the Stotram. Most of the Ashtottarams and the Trishatis and the Lalita Sahasranamam also, Vishnu Sahasranamam, they are all Stotram. Some of them we recite in Stotram form. The Ashtottara in its Stotram form is not so well known as is the Namavali, because the Namavali is offered as puja at Sri Ramanashramam and is offered at puja at the Ramana Maharshi Center for Learning in Bangalore and also at many centers of Bhagavan across the world. So this is the Shata Namavali, and we are meditating on the Nama Om Dhiraya Namaha. After the Nama Om Dakshinasya Nibhaya Namaha, we have the Nama Dhiraya Namaha, the one who is courageous, one who is steadfast. Ganapati Muni, in the 18th chapter of Ramana Gita, he says Dhiratva Sampadi. Dhiratva Sampadi Suvarnagireranunam. He says in his Dhiratva, he is like the Meru, the golden hill. Meru is a traditional hill which is said to be a hill of gold. And he says Bhagavan is like that in his Dhiratva, in his courage. So we have seen that he actually inquired into death even when his father passed away, even when he was just 12 years of age. So that much of courage he had. And then when his own death came, when he was 16, then of course he actually decided to embrace death. Let us see what happens when death comes. And he enacted death in its totality, in its intensity, and he faced death and he transcended death. He crossed over death. Shiva is called Kala Kala because he kicked Yama in the chest when Yama tried to engulf him also, to ensnare him also with his noose, death noose, along with his devotee Markandeya. So that is when Shiva kicked Yama, it is said, and Yama prostrated to him and said, I will not touch your devotees any longer. At that time, Shiva got the epithet Kala Kala, the one who is the death of death. That much of the courage to kick away death, to destroy death, is the Dhira that Bhagavan is. And there has been no occasion where Bhagavan was disturbed. Dhiratva also means steadfastness. It means being unmoved, like the Achala, like the hill itself. So that is why Ganapati Muni gives the example of the golden hill, Meru Suvarnagirer Anunam. He says in the 18th chapter of Ramana Gita, where he is praising him. So we were meditating on how Bhagavan, even in the face of the death approaching his mother, did not get perturbed, but he prayed to Arunachala in the full faith. So he had the dhira in the faith. His faith was strong. It was steadfast. It was not wavering. It was not shaky. So he could compose that poem of prayer to Arunachala, wherein he says, Alayai varu piravi attanayum maatra malaya எழுந்த மருந்தே தலைவா நின்றாள் கதியாய் வாழும் என் தாய் தாபம் மாற்றியே ஆழ்வதும் உன் கடனே ஆம். Kala Kala, Ulappadam சார்ந்த பாலன் என்னை ஈன்றாள். You are death to death, and she has given birth to me, who has taken refuge at your feet. அந்த காலந்தான் வாராவகை உன்கால் வாரிஜமே காட்டுவாய். It is up to you to show your lotus feet, so that death does not approach my mother, who has given birth to me, and I have taken refuge in you. So to whom else can I turn in my time of need? In this dire point of my mother almost passing away. But even then, Bhagavan adds a line, Arayet kalanume yar. So the highest point of courage is not given up. My mother, yes, she may be in the jaws of death. But if one inquires, then what is death? What is death? So the courage to even ask this question, what is death? At the point when his own mother is lying at the doorstep of death, almost on the verge of death. But he asks, Arayet kalanume yar. That is the dhiratva of Bhagavan. That is the courage, the steady one in Arunachala. And then he goes on to say, Jnanangiyai vonga nallaruna vongale. You are the fire of knowledge. Jnanangiyai annai nalludalai jnanangamagach செய்து உன் பதத்தில் ஐக்கியமாக்கிக் கொள்வார். You should make her one with you, one with that fire of knowledge which you are. And that is the case. Shahati mootuvadin shatru. If that is the case, then why should the funeral pyre be lit for mother? Once she is one with you in the jnana, there is no need for cremation. That is the faith, that is the dhiratva which Bhagavan has. And then he says, Maya mayakkamadai Aksharamanamalai, yen tayar mayakkahattra thamadameen. You are the one who removes all delusion, Maya mayakkam, the intoxication of illusion, of Maya, the fainting from Maya, becoming unconscious, becoming unaware of the world, that Maya mayakkam, attanayum matra, Maya mayakkamadai Aksharamanamalai. Arunamamalai, you are Arunachala, the great hill. You are capable of changing this Maya mayakkam. Yentayar mayakkahattra thamadameen. Why are you delaying removing the delusion of my mother? தாயாகி தன்னை அடைந்தார் வினையின்றா கருத்தான். You are the one who will destroy the illusion of all those who see you as their mother. வாருலகில் உன்னை அல்லால் உண்டோ வரை. Is there anyone other than you who can be our recourse? So that dhiratva of Bhagavan in the faith that Arunachala alone is the recourse. So if he has to pray to mother, he can pray for mother. He does not run to a doctor, but he prays to Arunachala. At every point, it is his unshakable faith in Arunachala, which Vishwanatha Swami is revealing to us, and he may have well wondered about Bhagavan's state of jnana. That state of jnana which itself makes one unmoving, because where from does the self come? Where to does the self go? It is unmoving. So that is the dhiratva which Muni has referred to. Actually, in this, it is not Muni. Muni refers to dhiratva sampati. Vishwanatha Swami of course, reflects many concepts of Ganapati Muni in the Ashtottaram. He right from starting with Mahasena Mahumsena Jataya Namaha, Sri Ramanaya Namaha, Gurave Namaha. But he goes on to say Skandaya Namaha, Om Devatamaya Namaha. All these namas are representative namas of Lord Subramanya. So we find that he is in concurrence with Ganapati Muni's vision of Bhagavan as Subramanya. And that is the concept which Vishwanatha Swami is highlighting over here. Many, many instances which will bring out the beauty of this name, Dhiraya Namaha, and its importance for us in practice. It is very important for us to have the courage when we practice. And then what happens is that our mind turns back to the source. Dakshinabhimukhaya Namaha. Once one is having the courage to get back to the source, then one gets established, one becomes Dakshinasya Nibha. One becomes Dakshinabhimukha. One becomes Dakshinamurti at that point of time. So that is how Vishwanatha Swami continues from Dhira to Dakshinabhimukhaya Namaha, which we may be blessed to continue meditating on in the forthcoming classes. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.
Ramana. We'll continue the satsang with the chanting of a few verses of Arunachala Aksharamanamalai by Revathi Shankar. That will be followed by the Ashtottara puja to Bhagavan by Sri Dileep Simha ji in his puja altar, and the chanting will be done by Vaibhavji and Prarthana and Uma Sripathy.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. சோம்பியாய் சும்மா சுகமுண்டுறங்கிடில் சொல்வேரென் கதி அருணாச்சலா சௌரியம் காட்டினை சழக்கற்றதென்றே சல்லியாதிருந்தாய் அருணாச்சலா யமலீர் கேடா நான் என்னுறுதியால் நாடி நின்னுருவேன் அருணாச்சலா ஞானம் இல்லாதுன் ஆசையாற்றடர் வர ஞானம் தெரித்தருள் அருணாச்சலா நீமீறு போனியும் மலர்ந்தில்லை என்றே நேர் நின்றனையன் அருணாச்சலா தத்துவம் தெரியாதத்தனையுற்றாய் தத்துவம் இதுவென் அருணாச்சலா தானே தானே தத்துவம் இதனை தானே காட்டுவாய் அருணாச்சலா திரும்பி அகந்தனை தினமாக கண்காண் தெரியுமென்றனையன் அருணாச்சலா தீரமில்லகத்தில் தேடி உந்தனையான் திரும்ப உற்றேன் அருள் அருணாச்சலா துப்பறிவில்லாய் பிறப்பெண் பயன் ஒப்பிடவாயேன் அருணாச்சலா தூய்மன மொழியர் தோயுமுன்மெய்யகம் தோயவே அருளென் அருணாச்சலா தெய்வமென்றுன்னை சாரவே என்னை சேர ஒழித்தாய் அருணாச்சலா अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचला 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 अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचला अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचला नमो रमण
नमो रमण भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितं श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि ॐ महासेन महंसेन जाताय नमः ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः ॐ गुरवे नमः ॐ अखण्डसंविदाकाराय नमः ॐ महौजसे नमः ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोस्थिताय नमः ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः ॐ श्रीमद्द्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः ॐ तीव्राय नमः ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः ॐ इन्दुमौलिना पितृमते नमः ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोण्णशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः ॐ तपोमयाय नमः ॐ उदासीनाय नमः ॐ महायोगिने नमः ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः ॐ सुसन्द्रशे नमः ॐ सवित्रे नमः ॐ स्थिराय नमः ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः ॐ फुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः ॐ चूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः ॐ चूर्णिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः ॐ विराजदचलाकृतये नमः ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः ॐ पूर्णाय नमः ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः ॐ गम्भीराय नमः ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः क्षीणास्य निभाय नमः ॐ धीराय नमः ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः ॐ स्वराजे नमः ॐ महर्षये नमः ॐ भगवते नमः ॐ ईड्याय नमः
ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः ॐ विमलाय नमः ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्री शोणाचल हृद्भूत स्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्द परिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेश सारादिग्रन्थ सञ्चिन्न संशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादगसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ रुच्चान्तकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणात्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणाद्रीशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगभिषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः।
ॐ श्री रमण भगवते नमः। श्री अष्टोत्तर शतनाम पूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थाणोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्या जनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रह सुप्रवाह विवशस्तादात्म्यभावं गतः निश्चस्वगभीर नित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनस्येकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदं लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावर्ण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि दर्शन सुख मंगल मुख सकल जीव हित सम्मुख ब्रह्म संगिये नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावर्ण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि सदा तुष्ट सदा हृष्ट सदा शिवानंद पुष्ट परम महर्षि
ब्रह्मनिष्ठ समदर्शी नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावर्ण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि ನಮ್ಮ ಮನವದೊಂದು ಕಾಡು ನೀನರಿತೆಯೇ ಅದರ ಜಾಡು ಹಿತವನರಿತು ನೀಡುತ್ತೆಮ್ಮ ಕೊರೆಯ ತಣಿಸಲೈ ಬೇಡಲೆಂದು ಬಂದ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಯೇ ತಣಿವೆವೈ ಮೂಡಿಗಾರನೇ ಹಿತವ ನುಡಿದು ಪೊರೆ ನಮ್ಮನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಗಿಯೇ ನಮೋ 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 ರಮಣ ಸದಾಶಿವ ಪ್ರಭಾವರ್ಣ ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ नमो महर्षि बोलो भगवान श्री रमण महर्षि की जय
जय